Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Evan here, bringing you our NFL stock market episode as the NFL starts this week. We're finally getting back to football. Dwyer, how you doing today?
I'm excited, Caden. I'm excited, man. We got a couple days here until the season kicks off. Got a game on Friday, too, on week one, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, it should be great. Whole new season. We just had our fantasy draft yesterday, so we're feeling good. We're feeling ready for this NFL season. And with that, we're going to do our stock market episode that we've done so many times before with a bunch of different sports. You saw it a couple weeks ago with college football, and now we're doing it with NFL. We're going to kick it off with some of these teams that we like and don't like going into the season. Dwyer, I'll kick it off here with one of the teams that I do like this year. And as much as it kind of pains me to say, because of where I live in this great state of Colorado,
Yeah.
I like the Broncos this year, man. I do think this team will be very good. I think they will have the best defense in the league. You already have Pat Surtain, draft Jahdae Barron round one. You bring in someone like Drake Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. So I have a really good D line there as well. That I think this Broncos team will be great on the defensive side. I think we will see some improvements out of Bo Nix to go along with just more chemistry with receivers like Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. They have a real run game now. I really do like RJ Harvey. You guys know Mex was extremely high on RJ Harvey and has flashed through camp and stuff that Broncos are win total over unders at 9.5. I'm on that, even though it is minus 140. I think it's worth it even with the juice. It's also worth it, I think, to look at their division, them to win the division here this year, because who knows exactly how good the Chiefs are really going to be. We've seen them be a little off, especially in that Super Bowl game. Looks like they weren't their usual selves now coming in with the Broncos. I think, will be competing for the division, and with that, give me their over 9.5 wins this season.
I like that a lot, Caden. Especially, year two in Sean Payton offense. That team's going to be, I think they're rolling. What you think there's any chance they take the division?
I still think the Chiefs are the favorite, but like if it's between them, Chiefs are like minus $1.50. Or no, not even like minus $1.35. Broncos are like plus $1.50.
Okay. All right.
Like it's
Yeah.
close.
You're assuming that they're going to take that step up, especially, I think, would you say, Knicks has got to take a big step up if they're going to have any chance at that, right?
Yeah, and it's also with this, it's also something to look at. Like you said, another year in Sean Payton's offense. This is the first time since high school Bo Nix has had the same offensive system in consecutive years. Get a new OC or moving to a new school every year that he was in college, whether it be at Auburn or Oregon. Obviously, then the first year in the NFL is a new system. This is the first time since high school he's had consecutive years in the same system. I think that'll just help him as well there.
I like it a lot, kid. I like it a lot. My team that I really like this year going into the year is the Houston Texans. At plus 110, you get them over 9.5 wins, which I think they're going to smash that total. C.J. Stroud had a rough year last year. He really did. I think they hired a new offensive coordinator this year, which I think is a big thing. Although they did lose Mixon going into the year, they do have a healthy Nico Collins going into the year, which he looked like probably one of, if not the best football receiver in football. And you look at the division didn't get any better at all. It's the same division. It probably got worse, honestly. The Colts are brutal. They don't got a quarterback. The Jaguars are still Jacksonville. I don't believe in Lawrence. It's just that division is exactly. I think he's a bust, really, for what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I don't think that division's. I think it's going to be probably it's going to be up there with NFC
South.
South. My bad. I think that division's going to be close with them. And I think 9.5 is going to be an easy smash over for Houston.
Yeah, I do like that. I don't know if I'm as high on it as you, but like I like all those like the rest of their division sucks really bad. Like I bet they go 5-1 in division, and then like that right there is half the wins you need. I do like this team, like you said. I think Stroud is gonna bounce back from a rough second year, healthy Nico Collins, you draft someone like I really like Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. They used their second round draft pick on him. I think he can slide in, become a good number two option for Stroud in that offense as well. You have one of the better defenses in football as well over there. So I do think this team's going to be very good. I think they're going to firmly sit atop that division because like you said, the rest of that division sucks. And speaking of the rest of that division sucking, one of the teams that I am low on this year is the Indianapolis Colts. You can get their under 6.5 wins this year at plus 120. And I think that's the freest thing in the world when I have to rely on either Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson as my quarterback. That right there makes you a non competitive football team week in, week out. If one of those two guys are starting that quarterback, you are more likely than not going to lose and lose by a good margin because they are awful and should not be starting in the NFL. But because this is the Colts situation, they are. So you're deciding between Vanilla Vic, who can't do anything, or Anthony Richardson, who doesn't know where to throw a football. He might be able to throw it 170 yards, but he doesn't know where it's going. This Colts team, yeah, I like Jonathan Taylor. Michael Pittman's good. Like, you got some good players, but with such a hole at quarterback, it's going to be hard for you to win games. It's just going to be way too hard. You're not a 7-win team. Under 6.5 at plus 120 all day.
I like that a lot. I feel like the Colts have been like in this stuck. Like they get like that same like the Daniel Jones is like describes every quarterback they've got for like the last like 5 years. The Flaccos, and you look at Matt Ryan's. It's just they just keep doing the same thing, thinking things are gonna change, but they won't.
All right, good. Also Carson Wentz as well. Don't forget about that little stretch.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got a type. They got a type. That's for sure. My team, I don't like this year going into the year. Not a fan of the Green Bay Packers at 10.5 at minus 125. That's a lot of wins in the NFC North, and the NFC North is loaded. There's a lot of question marks. Sure, I mean we'll see with the Vikings with McCarthy under quarterback, but I'm a big believer in their system. I mean if you could turn Sam Darnold into as good as he was last year, I feel like McCarthy's gonna have no problem. Bears are another big question mark. We'll see what they can do with Ben Johnson run the offense. Second year of Caleb Williams. And then, obviously, the Lions were the Lions last year, which, yes, they did lose both their OC and their DC, but I don't know. I'm a believer. I think Dan Campbell's really the guy. Like, I think he's playing for a guy like that really just boosts the motivation of all the rest of the players, and I don't think it's going to affect them too much. But like I said, 11.5 wins is a lot for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not a big believer in Jordan Love. I don't think he's that good. Like, I think you look at the Green Bay in previous years and stuff when they were dominating the NFC North. For the last 20 years, you could say they've had a top 3 quarterback in the league with Favre or Rodgers. Like, it's like, give me 3 other quarterbacks outside of really Brady and Peyton Manning. There wasn't really anybody else you could say was better than one of their quarterbacks, which I think you could probably rattle off 10 quarterbacks better than Jordan Love. They have, like, I liked Gold. I thought that was a good pick. Like, they have some interesting stuff. And, yes, bringing in Parsons was a big move for them. He also is struggling with a back injury, which is not, it doesn't sound good. He's going to have to be taking, like, epidural shots throughout the year. I don't like this team, their ceiling. It just 10.5 just feels like a very, very high line for them.
It does. It does seem like it's adjusted maybe a little too much after the Micah Parsons trade. Like that trade happened, their odds, they became the favorite to win the division. Their Super Bowl odds jumped up so much. Their win total odds are changing. Like, yeah, I mean, you obviously get a great impact player in Micah Parsons, who was one of the best defensive players in football. But also, like you said, Dwyer, Jordan Love isn't anything special. He isn't anything great. Like 2023 was a pretty good year. Last year was a lot worse, and I don't know if it was because of the injury he suffered early in the season or if it's just maybe more of what we're going to see out of him. He's still a lot of question marks. Yeah, that's just it seems like a very high number for this Packers team, especially in what should be one of the better divisions in football. Then, yeah, my last team I'm here to talk about is another team I'm down on going into the year, and that's the New Orleans Saints. I think I have them as the team with the fewest regular season wins, and that's at plus 400. I think this Saints team will be the worst team in football this year. they might win three, maybe four games all season. I mean, they decided to go with Spencer Rattler at quarterback, which that's kind of crazy after you spend a second round pick on 37-year-old Tyler Shuck. But either way, neither of those guys should be playing professional football as a starting quarterback. So that right there hurts them. Their offense isn't great. You're especially relying on someone like Rattler or Shuck. Their defense is not that good either. I think they might lose every single game in the division. Maybe I know the NFC South is going to suck, but I think the Falcons probably sweep them. The Bucks definitely sweep them. Maybe you split with the Panthers. That this Saints team is going to be a bottom feeder the whole season. Give me them to have the fewest regular season wins at plus 400.
I mean, this team. I was just talking with my other buddy yesterday. He thinks that they're going to be like better, and I'm like, dude, it's a quarterback-driven league, and they don't have a single quarterback on their roster. They have an old Alvin Kamara that they're going to probably run into the ground. Like, it's going to be a rough year for the Saints. My last team, which actually kind of coincides with the Saints, that I think they're going to hit their over win total, is the Carolina Panthers. They won their last 2 or 3 games at the end of last year, and I thought we started to see some progress out of Bryce Love, which we weren't seeing before, which he kind of started to at the end of last year. What?
Bryce Young?
Bryce Young, yeah. What'd I say?
Bryce Love.
Oh, Love. Sorry. Still on the Packers. Obviously, they got that first round pick to pick up McMillan, which hopefully that's going to be an alpha wide receiver for them. But like you said, I mean, so 6.5 wins is minus 130. I feel like you could. I think they're going to take both games from the Saints. So there's 2 games there already, and then you kind of just got to find 5 more games to win, which I don't think this is as bad of a roster. I mean, Chuba Hubbard's a top end running back in the league. We'll see if this. I mean, between Leggett, McMillan, I think they have a tight end there is also like people are kind of sleeping on.
Tavion Sanders.
There you go. There you go. And I don't think their defense is abysmal by any means right now, so I think this team could win 6.5 games, 7 games.
They're interesting because, I don't think they're anything great, but also they could find a way to be like a 7-10 team come season's end. Like, take one from the Falcons, and there's 3 wins. Then, Dwyer, you'll have looking for 4 more. And, like, their roster's not awful. They have some pieces that I definitely could see that. Now, though, we talked about some of these over-unders, but who is our Super Bowl pick for the season? Evan, I'm going to start with you. Who do you have lifting the Lombardi at the end of the season?
So, kind of coincides with my MVP pick, sneak peek here, but I'm a big into the Baltimore Ravens this year. I think this is the year they finally get it done. If it wasn't for last year and the whole Mark Andrews drop, like they had that game in the bag. They really did. I mean, I feel like it's their time again. You know, I mean, Lamar Jackson's 28 years old. He put up probably the best season of his career if you look at it statistically last year.
Should have won MVP last year.
Should have been the MVP last year, and why, he may or may not be my MVP pick this year. I just think that he's got a chip on his shoulder. This team, they're loaded up. They didn't lose anybody. I just think that this is their year to go out and win it. They've been such a good team for so long, but I feel like this is their year to get over that hump.
Dwyer, I couldn't have said it any better myself. My Super Bowl team is also the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
Like, come on. This has got to be their year, right? Like, we see them, like, if that wasn't for the Mark Andrews catch, I definitely see them going into Arrowhead and beating the Chiefs in that AFC Championship game. And who knows once we see them against the Eagles. Like, I don't know what happens there. But this Ravens team is great on the offensive side of the ball, great on the defensive side of the ball. They're just one of the most well-rounded teams in football. You have one of the best quarterbacks in football in Lamar Jackson as well to go along with Derrick Henry, and those two together are an insane rushing duo. Yeah, this should be their year. And also, like, the Bills, I don't know if they're they're a great team. It just seems like they love to find ways to lose year in, year out. Chiefs, after what we saw at the end of last year in that Super Bowl, I'm not too high on them. And it's hard for teams to go back to back, so it kind of rules out the Eagles a little bit for me. So yeah, I'm right there with you on the Ravens. And I mean, let's just have you go now. So yeah, Lamar's your MVP pick.
Yeah, Lamar's the MVP pick, man. I mean, he had 41 touchdowns last year, almost 4,200 yards throwing, which is nuts. It's just like you said, he definitely should have been the MVP last year. Kind of like, it's funny how like the year he won the MVP should have been Allen, and then when Allen won it should have been Lamar. But just I don't know, man. Like you said, you lose a game like last year like that, and just throughout Lamar's career, they've had so many heartbreaks already. I feel like he's just got that chip on his shoulder. Like, this is the year they all put it together. And for them to win the Super Bowl, they're going to need an MVP type performance out of Lamar Jackson, obviously. And I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, as much as I like what Lamar's saying here, I'm going to take the other co-favorite for the MVP this year in the same division as Lamar Jackson, and that is Joe Burrow of the Bengals. And I also just see it like, yes, this Bengals defense is still going to be pretty bad. So this Bengals offense is going to have to put up points. I do think Joe Burrow is going to be throwing it 40 plus times a game, and also why I think you could get him at MVP at plus 550. But I think a better bet if you're thinking about, like, he's still my MVP pick, but better bet at the same odds. Joe Burrow to lead most regular season passing yards, to lead the NFL in pass yards regular season. Same odds, plus 550. I can take that. I think he'll throw over close to 4,800 yards. He'll get 40-ish tutties. You still have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, Mike Gesicki had a great year last year. You have a lot of these guys. I do think he'll be able to put up the numbers, and he'll need to put up the numbers for his team to be in the playoff conversation just because this defense is not great.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, and now though, let's get over to our player props for this season. Dwyer, if you want to kick us off with your first one.
All right, well, first one I have is kind of like my easy one. You talked about how much you like the Denver Broncos, and I do too. And I think this is a lock of 875.5 yards over. Cortland Sutton hitting that on the season total in yardage.
That's all it's at?
That's all that's at right now. Which
I agree with you now, yeah.
That feels like a joke. Again, second year, should be the wide receiver one there. I mean, that should just be pure, like, just process over results right there. That should just roll it in. That should be a hammer of the over.
100%. That seems very low. I thought, 975 would have been what I thought it would have been more around, like right around 1,000 yards. 875, yeah, that should be a very easy over for Cortland Sutton. 100%.
So he doesn't play 17 games and doesn't hit that.
Yeah.
Not a shot.
Yeah, my first over I do have on these player props is kind of coincides with me thinking that this Bengals offense will be one of the best in the NFL this season, be putting up a lot of points. I do like Chase Brown to go over his rushing touchdowns prop, over 6.5. We saw him last year in his first season as that lead back there, just under 1,000 yards rushing, 7 rushing tutties. I think he's going to get even a little more involved into the offense this season, get around that 1,000 rushing yards, still be involved in the passing game, obviously, but when they get down there by the goal and be able to punch it in and get over that 6.5 tutties at minus 110.
It feels like it's pretty free money, too. I can't lie. I mean, he was like an RB1 by the back half of last year. Want to go our under now?
Yeah, we can go there.
All right. My under I have is actually Derrick Henry under his 1,350.5 yards on the ground this year. They have Keaton Mitchell. I really like this kid. This kid was really, really good before he tore his ACL, and now he's going to be healthy. And I think they're going to utilize him more. What?
Utilize.
Sorry, I can't speak. I think they're going to use him more. And I feel like they're going to just try and rest Henry more in a sense where, like, playoffs is where they're obviously going to be shooting for. I think that's going to be the main goal. I think they're not that they're necessarily going to rest Henry, but, like, they're not going to be handing the ball off 25 plus times a game. And I feel like I think he's going to still have a really good year, but I think he's going to come short of that 1,350 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I did just draft Derrick Henry yesterday, so in my mind, I'm disagreeing with you right now.
A lot of goal line touchdowns. How about that? A lot of goal line touchdowns. Give him like 20.
To get 20 touchdowns, but like 1,200 yards.
That will play. That will play.
Yeah, you know what? I agree to those terms.
Yeah, yeah.
So I actually have two unders for my player props. I'll go my first one here, and that's DJ Moore under 6.5 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns this year at -125. I do expect a big jump for this Bears offense this season, but also this offseason. Wow, the Bears added a lot of just offensive weapons to this offense. Like I do think you bring in someone like you draft Luther Burden in the second round, you draft Colson Loveland in the first round to be two playmakers for this offense. You already still have Cole Kmet, you still have DeAndre Swift. That I think it's going to be hard for DJ Moore to come in and get that much of a target share to end up with over or 7 or more touchdowns this season. Where hey, I could see him get like 1,000, 1,100 yards, but finish 5, 6 tutties. Wow, then you see it more spread out. So you see that your Burdens or your Lovelands and stuff also getting the well spread.
I mean, yeah, 6.5 feels like a lot, man. That's a lot for DJ Moore, especially off last year, which was such a down year. I like that. My last one I have as an over is DK Metcalf over 68.5 receptions on the year. Aaron Rodgers he'll have a guy that he'll just completely I'm going to throw to you and only you. That's how he was with Garrett Wilson. That's where he was with Devontae Adams in his career. And these guys were like led the leagues in targets whenever he was the quarterback. And assuming he's healthy, I feel like DK Metcalf's going to smash this over. Just because purely who else are they going to throw to there? You know, they don't. I mean, yes, they're typically known as a running team. But, I mean, I don't think you could go into the year. Yes, they just gave Warren an extension. You got that Caleb Johnson. But at the same time, I feel like they're a team that you're gonna air it out when you have Aaron Rodgers. I just feel like they're going to throw it a lot, and DK Metcalf's going to be the primary receiver.
Yeah, that doesn't seem bad there. I mean, you said 68.5, so, I mean, getting him 70 receptions, it seems very plausible because he should be that number one target for Aaron Rodgers throughout the season. And assuming Rodgers is healthy, he'll definitely be getting targeted, you would think, 7+ times a game on average. So that does seem pretty nice. My last prop is an under as well. And you guys listen to this pod. If you know me, you know I'm not high on J.J. McCarthy. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I know he's in such a great situation and system with Kevin O'Connell, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson. But I'm taking his under on 3,600.5 passing yards because he's not that type of quarterback. He's not going to come in, be able to go air it out, be like a power threat in the air type of quarterback. He's the type of guy who's best when you have a great O-line and a great defense and run game. Like, he's a good game manager type of quarterback. If he just has to come in, hand the ball off 35 times a game, maybe throw it 25, he's perfect there. He's not this type of guy who's going to come in and succeed, I don't think, throwing it 30, 35 times a game. And the Vikings, though, they don't have the facilities for McCarthy, I think, to try to succeed as that type of game manager. Their O-line isn't great, and their rushing attack is nothing better. I mean, Aaron Jones is fine, nothing special, but so he's going to have to try to throw more than he's capable of, and I don't think it's going to lead to the most positive of results. So yeah, give me McCarthy under on the 3,600.5 passing yards.
I mean, I get if you're not a fan of the guy, you're not a fan of the guy. Again, though, man, if you make Sam Darnold good, I feel like you can make anybody good. Because that guy was good as dead in the league, man, before that. He was so dead. And he was the man. He got paid. But I like the process there. I get it.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, these are our picks for this year's version of our NFL stock market. Me and Evan are both very excited that the NFL is just a day away as you guys are watching this as it comes out. And if you guys did enjoy today's episode, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment down below as well. Which teams are you high and low on, as well as players? Who are your Super Bowl and MVP picks for this upcoming season? Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload of the Untouchaballs podcast, and share this with your friends, family, strangers, neighbors, anything like that. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.